Hey y'all, happy Sunday again. It's another day of not being able to do anything on Friday, but this is because we had a garage sale. Anyways, if you watched the last video, then I bet you're wondering how well the... Give me a second. If you watched the last video, then I bet you're wondering if the grass that we put down kept the weeds away, and we are about to find out together. We also got probably 4 inches of rain in the last week here, so we'll see what 4 inches of rain does to a garden. As I'm walking up to the garden, I see a bunny, and I'm wondering if we're going to be able to see if they've snacked on anything. I don't know if you can see them over there. I don't know if you can hear me. My mom is on the mower today. It's just me and my mom. Tate's not here. So, and he's my pro weeder. I probably am going to need to go grab a hoe. Let me show you what I'm looking at here. Okay, here's our peas. Looks like we got some weeding to do around the peas here, but it's flowering, which is pretty. Some more peas. Here we go. We did get about 4 inches of rain, which did not help the mosquito problem, but I think my plants are very thankful for the rain. Here's our potato plants. They are flowering, which is not something that I knew that potato plants did. So that's exciting. I've never seen a potato plant grow before. So, ooh, our spinach looks horrible. I think it's too hot for the spinach, and I'm not even sure. Oh, it looks like it's been getting chewed on as well. So, might be the end of our spinach. I did get a lot of it last time, so I was glad I was able to enjoy some, but whatever's snacking on the spinach is also snacking on the kale and me right now. But these kales are gigantic, but there's a lot of holes in them. So I'll have to take a close look and see if there's any eggs or anything on the plants themselves. Maybe just cut back the damage, harvest what I can, and hope that that doesn't continue to happen. We want to get some marigolds out here. Marigolds will supposedly prevent bugs and pests from entering the garden. I don't really know much about it, but I've heard that, and so I would like to try that. Might get a packet of seeds and put them here where I had hoped, in this row, where I had hoped was going to be another row of lettuce, but I don't think that that's going to come up. So, speaking of lettuce, our lettuce looks good. Doesn't have as much damage or holes or anything as the spinach and the kale, so that's great. And this lettuce is delicious. I have been really enjoying it this week. Our onions are still going strong and looking good. You can tell that there's some good stuff starting to form down there. We have our beans. And my favorite part of the garden, the cantaloupe. Wow, that's insane. I can't believe that this is how much that they've grown since last week. None of them were nearly this big. I think our biggest one, let me see if I can find a comparable one. Last week, our biggest cantaloupe plant was probably this size or smaller, and now they are just taking off. That's incredible. Very, very excited about this. Now we're on to our tomatoes and our peppers. So there's definitely some grass intertwined and lots of bird poop, which is kind of gross, but at least I think that that's bird poop. I hope it's not like some kind of disease or something. But here are the cherry tomatoes that I planted. Oh wow, look at that. This tomato plant already has tomatoes on it. I believe this one is a cherry tomato plant as well. And this one I think is the yellow ones. I could be wrong. Maybe this is another one of mine. Wow. I'm really surprised by this. In a week, there was no tomatoes on these plants last week when I came. Let's see what else we can find. These ones are definitely shorter. I need to tie them so that they continue to grow towards the trellis instead of away from it. This one's flowering quite a bit. And this one is just ridiculously large. Wow. This plant came from the local nursery and it has the thickest stem on it. It's a champion variety, so maybe that makes a difference from variety to variety, but that's massive. Definitely flowering. Wow, I am impressed by this. Very impressed by the tomatoes already forming on here. Like there's 4 good ones here. Let me see if I can. Wow. Okay. And the last but not least, the peppers. Let's see how the peppers are looking. There's definitely some starting to form, which is exciting. The leaves are looking not so healthy and happy. I'll have to look into why that might be. I've never planted pepper plants before either, so new to me. So this is the ones I got from Earl May, so Gypsy and Gypsy, and they are starting to form for sure. Wow, that's exciting. And then these are the Anaheims that I started from seed. The leaves on these are just not looking very good. If anybody knows why that might be, please let me know in the comments, and if there's something I should be doing to better take care of them. Same with the kale. Let's take a closer look and see if there's bugs or eggs or something on them. Bug in my eye right now. Let's see. I'm not seeing obvious signs of eggs or anything like that. Oh. Yeah, no. Just holes. We'll get in there and we'll take care and clear some of that up. The sun is starting to come out, which is very conveniently timed because I am now out here. And it was really cloudy this morning, which was pleasant. Now it's getting kind of hot. So great, perfect. Oh, there's a really pretty bird over there. What I was saying was, it was cloudy this morning. I drove here, it takes an hour and a half to get here, and it was cloudy and raining on me almost the entire way here, but it doesn't seem like it was raining. Doesn't seem like it rained over here today anyways, or at least not in the last few hours, but the sun coming out behind the clouds means that it has gotten warm and steamy with all the rain that we've gotten this week. So I'm gonna get in here, and I guess I should point out too, the grass that we put down, I think we put down way too thin of a layer. Now I say that because, I mean, obviously that does not look good. I wonder if the rain washed it up and made it look like this. I thought we had put more out. But either way, there's not a ton of weeds. I would have thought with the lack of ground cover, oh, there's a butterfly. I would have thought with the lack of ground cover that we would have more of a weed issue. But it doesn't look like I'm going to have to do too much weeding, which is fantastic because that is not my favorite thing to do. There's all these birds around the yard. It's so peaceful right now. Okay, I need to get to work. We got some shade again. Much, much, much better. So I'll get you set up, and then I'm going to start working on getting the weeds, tying up the tomatoes, and taking care of the spinach and kale. I might have to rip out the spinach, which is fine. There's a few things that I want to plant. I'm not sure if it's a good time to plant them, but I want to try carrots again, maybe a different variety. I want to get radishes, Swiss chard, marigolds. I feel like there was one more thing on my list. But that'll probably be a next week project since I didn't bring the seeds with me today. But let's get rocking. I'm going to start tearing it up in these pea plants because it's my least favorite part to weed. It's kind of hard to get into this cage. I'm gonna do my best not to disturb my pea plants while I get in here and get these nasty weeds out. Gosh, these are the absolute worst. And there's so many of them. Last year, we had tomatoes and squash in this row here, and it was an absolute mess because we couldn't really get into they were held up with tomato cages, which I could go on and on about how much I hate tomato cages. Just makes everything hard to get to. But between the squash and the tomatoes, they had taken over the tomato cages. We did not get much weeding done at the base, and so unfortunately there was just nightshades entangled with all the plants. It just made a huge mess, and the tomatoes did not have very much flavor last year. I'm sure there's a lot of factors that went into why that could be, but this year we're not going to let all of that happen. Going to take a little bit better care and be a little more attentive. Last year I was able to come once every other week about, and so this year with me coming every week, I'm able to keep up with this a little bit better, and my mom has been really kind to care for this whenever I'm not here as well. So coming through and getting out the weeds if she notices them. She comes a lot more often. She lives closer than me. I'm gonna have to get on the ground on the other side to get a lot more leaves in here, or grass in here. And I can do that, we have plenty, but it's all wet right now and stinky. Gosh, we dumped out those buckets last week of the remaining grass, just so that they were out of the way, and my goodness, did it smell horrible. I couldn't even hardly stand it, I had to walk away. Actually, that's great. If you could scoot over a pea plant. I'll come in here and grab all these weeds. I went ahead and pulled all the weeds that were right up next to the peas, the onions, the cantaloupe. Now I'm gonna get in here with a hoe, get rid of all these weeds that are kind of in no man's land right here. Final verdict is that I do think the grass helped, but I do think we don't have enough of it out, obviously. There really wasn't that much weed covers that I needed to hoe out of the garden. I think somewhat thanks to the grass, even though there's not that much coverage, but I do need to get up close to these tomato plants, and I think I'm going to do that while I'm tying them up to the trellis. And I really don't know what I'm doing with this tying up to the trellis task, so we'll see how that goes. I'm sure this will be entertaining to watch, so stay tuned for that. Oh, something's biting me. Gosh dang it. No amount of bug spray is enough out here, I feel like. Look at all that. There's tons of things biting me right now. Whew. It's okay. So I've got this string. Okay, I think I'm gonna prune the suckers first because I can't really even see what's happening here. Okay, So, and you want to prune the suckers. I'm going to prune the suckers on all of these except for the Roma tomatoes that are down there. So, see if I can even determine where the suckers are at this point. Probably should have done this last time I was here, but I did not think about it. Also, anything touching the ground, I want to get that kind of out of here because that can lead to disease spreading to the top of the plant where things fruit, and we don't want that. So anything down here, I'm just gonna pull right off. This one included. Okay. So that's probably pretty good. We just need to get these going in this direction. Okay. And then get in here and tie it to the post. I've seen like little tomato plant clips, and I wonder if that will be beneficial down the line. I think right now this is going to be what we do, but once they get taller, to just be able to clip them to the cattle post instead of tying them. Oh, oops. Let's cut off the excess here. I'm about to get wrapped up in here. There's so many weeds and so many branches touching the ground. Get my other glove on. Just need to get all this excess out of here. Okay. I'm gonna prune quite a bit off of this one. There's just a lot touching the ground. That's better. Sneak this through here. Just want good airflow here at the bottom of the plant to also help with preventing diseases. I've heard that in like rainy climates, blight can be a problem. I'm not sure if that's a problem here in Nebraska. Should do some searching on that, but just trying to get good airflow and get them starting to go the right direction here. This one I'm nervous to touch because it already has fruit on it, and I would hate to mess up a good thing. I'll put you on the other side. Wow, there's a lot of fruit on this one. So there's 4 down here that are bigger, but then there's a few forming here as well, at least 2 there. Plenty of flowers on other parts of the plant. With this one, it's honestly hard to see. Like, okay, I don't know if you can see this, but this is the sucker because it's coming out of the angle of these 2 plants, or these 2 branches. Okay, that feels better. I watched some videos recently that showed people using these suckers that they pluck off the plant and planting them to make a whole nother tomato plant. Now, I don't need any more tomato plants, but that is an interesting idea if you were wanting to get the most out of this and use up these pieces that you would otherwise just be composting. Okay, I got the tomatoes taken care of behind me here. I went ahead and weeded around the base of them. I chopped back any of the suckers that I saw, and also any of the branches that were hanging down and touching the ground, to hopefully prevent any kind of diseases and get some airflow along the bottom. I definitely could have taken off more, but I don't want to go too hard on them right now. As they get taller, maybe I'll prune some more off the bottom. But right now, for today, I'm going to leave them how they are. Another project that I need to do is probably tear out the spinach, which I'm sad about, but it's not, I don't think I would eat that. It does not look very good. And then take care of some of this kale, harvest some of the kale, harvest some of the lettuce, and then I need to be down in the garden, and I need to go help my mom with weeding around the rest of the yard. So I am going to do some of this quick, hopefully, and I'll get back to you. Yeah, there's just none of it that looks very good. Dang. If I would have known that was going to be the case, I probably would have harvested more last week. But gardening is an experiment for me, and I'll learn from it. Next year I will harvest more sooner. Every time the sun falls behind some clouds, that feels amazing on a day like today. Okay. From my understanding, you can continue to harvest kale through September, just taking off the outer leaves and letting the interior grow. Gosh, look at those nightshades. Let's see. It's just like beautiful, huge, massive leaves. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start tearing out all the outer layers, and I will determine later what of that is edible and what's not. I'm glad something is enjoying it, but I'm upset that it is not me. We'll see if any grows back. I'm kind of just tearing at this point. If I would have known last week was going to be the big shebang, I would have taken more home. But there's just like, you can see all those little holes. I don't want to jump the gun and take it all, but I'm nervous because I left those and that was not good. So I think I'm going to take a lot of it. I was hoping to be able to eat a lot of lettuce this week, so this will be good. I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear me because of the mower, but I've got a whole bag. Hold on. I'll take you elsewhere. Okay. I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear me or not, but I've got a whole bag of lettuce here. I'll give you a look inside. I harvested a ton of it because I really don't want to wait too long and not have any to... Hold on. I don't want to wait too long and then come back and it's all dead like the spinach, or eaten like the kale was with bugs. So I'm gonna go take this inside, put it in the fridge so that it doesn't get wilted, and I'm gonna enjoy some lettuce this week, and I'm probably gonna have to give some away, so hopefully I have some friends that want some lettuce. I think that's about it for the garden though. I'll give you a look at what things look like now. My mom is scooping up some more of that grass last week that we had dumped, the leftover. I'm gonna try to scoop some of it, and we're gonna dump some more down to cover the places where the grass is no longer laying. So I will give you a look once we're done with that. I'm almost afraid to show myself because I'm so dirty. It is filthy out here. Oh my gosh, and the bugs are coming after me. Actually, you can tell that they're starting to bite me, and then I am getting them. My gosh, there we go. Okay, I need to put on more bug spray too. Now I'm done in the garden. I went ahead and I harvested a lot of the lettuce, picked the buggy kale out, ripped out most of the spinach, and then I went ahead and dumped, here, I'll turn you around. Went ahead and dumped some grass in this area because this area is only ever going to be a walkway. I don't have any plans of planting anything right here. Next week when I come back, if I bring seeds, I will probably plant something in where the spinach was. Honestly, there's enough space there for 2 rows. So potentially radishes up next to the edge of the potatoes here, and then maybe carrots next to that. And we'll see how the kale goes. If the kale's not looking too hot next week, maybe we have to get rid of that and plant that Swiss chard. The lettuce, I feel like it's cut and come again, so I hope that some of it grows back, but if it doesn't, I just got a plentiful amount that I'm going to be able to share with friends, which is amazing. I feel like the real star of the show today has been the tomatoes and the cantaloupe. Both of them have just grown an incredible amount since last time I was here, exactly a week ago. So here's our tomatoes. I've got a lot of what was touching the ground pulled out. Also pulled all the weeds that were next to the bases and tied them up a little bit more to the trellis. So I'm hopeful that as the weeks continue to go on, they're climbing the trellis more and I'm able to tie them closer, and then having to use the ties less and less. I might invest in some tomato clips. If you could let me know in the comments what you use to get your tomatoes to stay growing along the trellises, if you use this kind of cattle panel T-post method, I would be really interested to know what other people are doing here. Grandma let us know that we're not allowed to work past 4 p.m. on the weekends, and it is 3:48 right now. My mom wanted to go till 4:30, so we'll see who wins this battle, but for now I'm gonna say that we are done in the garden, and we'll come back next week and see how things are looking. I'm really excited to see how many more tomatoes that we get to see next week, and I don't know if we're anywhere near close to seeing cantaloupe flowering, but if you've been watching my previous videos, you know that that is what I'm looking forward to most. So stay tuned for those updates. And if you see anything in this garden that you're like, why are you doing that? Or you could do something different, or with the leaves on the peppers looking the way that they do. If you have any advice on anything, please feel free to leave comments down below. I welcome any advice. This is only my 2nd year gardening here at my grandma's, and it's my 1st year ever growing straight from start to finish. So last year I came in after everything had already been planted and was growing and started to help out. This year I was here from the very beginning, and you can go back and watch those videos. But things are looking good. I'm happy with what we were able to get accomplished today, and I'm hopeful that we'll have bigger harvests coming soon. I'll have to show you how many wonderful salads that I get this week. So thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for the updates and leave any comments below if you have any advice or tips for me. Thank you. Take care.